You're listening to Profit Without Worry, episode number 143. Facebook and Instagram ads can be a great marketing tool, but is now the right time for you and your business? You need to be careful who you listen to. Reputational risks are a real issue to consider in 2020. Let's talk about that on today's show. Hey there, I'm Michelle Evans, and this is the show where coaches, experts, and business owners like us get real about what it takes to create a profitable online business. I can tell you from experience that nonstop hustle plus random acts of marketing do not equal success. So how do we attract a steady flow of clients and sales without all the hustle? This is the Profit Without Worry podcast. Hey there, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. Have you checked out the brand new free resource I created for you? It's a tell-all article that I wrote called The Real Reason Proven Marketing Formulas Have Stopped Working. And in it, I name names. I show proof of how the syndicate shaped our online marketing industry, and I show you why those pesky proven formulas are no longer working. And I'm here to tell you it is not you, it is the system. I'll link to it in today's show notes, which you can find wherever you're listening to this podcast, or you can go to profitwithoutworry.com/episode-143. And you can listen right there, and you can read it right there, or you can go to profitwithoutworry.com/article, and it'll just pop up for you. Okay, let's dive into today's show. Listen, my friend. You know that I love Facebook and Instagram ads. In fact, doing ads for clients and myself has made up more than 50% of my business since 2015. So when I talk about reducing Facebook and Instagram ads, you know that I'm serious. So let's back this up for a minute. Ever since the coronavirus messed up our 2020 plans big time, I've been hyper vigilant about how my clients show up in their ads because honestly, there are a lot of people in the online space doing it wrong. Very, very wrong. And for many of my clients, we just came to the agreement that now's not the time for them, that they need to come up with either a new message or a new approach, or they need to rethink some of their funnels because they're just not going to work. The tone is off, the approach is off, and it just, the reputational risk is so big. And in fact, it's not just my clients who are doing that. Some of the biggest names out there are continuing with their business as usual and ads as usual as if nothing has changed. And if you look at their ad comments, you will see the reputational risk that they have put at stake. What do I mean by doing it wrong? Well, there are a lot of people out there who prey on people's fear of not making enough money or prey is not the right word, peddle toxic positivity. Basically, ignore what's going on around you and just focus on the good and happy thoughts and everything will work out fine. But the worst ones are really the ones who prey on people's fears, on their fears of not being enough, on their fears of not making enough money, on their fears of missing out on some magical secret that's going to make millions in their business. And recently I saw one of these ads that really, really, really got under my skin, to put it lightly. And it was from Frank Kern. And he was dangling the build your business on pennies a day and make an easy $400,000 type ads. I'll link to the ad in today's show notes, but let me just read this to you. Here's one of the recent ads from Frank Kern. So this is what the ad copy said. I've spent more than 20 years advertising online. In that time, a lot has changed, like where and how I advertise, but one thing has remained constant. Ads matter. But you don't have to have a huge budget to drive real results. I started a campaign in a shaky and uncertain climate and spent $1.88 on the first day. That campaign generated over $400,000 in revenue the first month, and it's still running. Small budgets can build big businesses. I'll show you how in my free ads class. Tune in now and I'll share my tried and true secrets for making ads work without spending a fortune. Okay, there's a lot to unpack in this ad. Can you spend $1.88 and make money? Sure. Can you spend $1.88 on the first day and spend a heck of a lot more on day 2? Yeah. It just depends on what time you turn your ad on that first day. Can you have a small budget and build a big business? Yes. But here's the thing. I mean, actually, there's just so much here to unpack that it just drives me crazy. When I see ads like this that are preying on people's fears and their desires and just this idea of, wow, I could spend $2 a day and make $400,000, which is kind of what this ad is promising. So let me just back this up here. First of all, Facebook wasn't around when Frank Kern first started. So he wasn't advertising on Facebook when nobody knew who he was, right? Second, when he first started 20 years ago, it was the wild, wild west in the online marketing world with pretty much no rules and very, very, very low ad costs on Google and other platforms that aren't around anymore. And let's just be really clear. Frank Kern has been fined by the Federal Trade Commission for bad advertising and business practices. So really, he's selling a story here to get people all hyped up about learning a secret that he did not use to build his business from the ground up. All to sell his higher price course. And I mean, let's just be really clear. If I were to advertise to my best clients, I probably could spend, the minimum you can spend on Facebook for your budget is $5 a day. They don't always spend it, but that's the minimum you can put in. But if I were to advertise to my very best clients a program, so these are people who know me, who love the work I do, who have gotten big value from me. If I were to advertise to them on Facebook, do you think that they might buy? In fact, do you think that there's a pretty high likelihood that they would buy? Yeah. So what Frank's not telling you here is who he's advertising to. I guarantee you he is not going out to a cold audience and spending this money. And what's a cold audience? A cold audience is somebody who doesn't know you, doesn't know anything about you, doesn't know, what, story you have around you. Basically, it's like going up to a stranger on the street and being like, hey, want to buy my thing? And, 99.9% of people are going to be like, you're crazy, and they're going to run away, right? That's why you have to spend more money on Facebook ads when you're not well known, is because, if you're trying to build a business going out to new people who don't know you, you need to put in the time and the money and the effort for them to get to know you. And, Frank's not telling you that in this ad, of course. And finally, Frank Kern does not run his own ads. You can go to his Ad Insights page. It's publicly available information. And you can see that he's selling you a program and secrets that he does not even execute himself. So every time I see this, I get really frustrated. It's a scam. This is playing on people's desire to make money. And the thing is that he's selling this to you. He's selling this idea to you from a place of somebody who has not played by the rules, number one. Number two, who has a reputation behind him, of making lots of money, that a lot of times people overlook how much of a social proof, how much that gets you in terms of people even paying attention to what you're doing. So if you and I, who aren't as well known, if we went out to brand new audiences who didn't know us, I guarantee you would take a lot more than $5 a day or $1.88 a day to get people to buy from you. It's going to take a lot more. And that's why I say this is a scam, to play on people's desire to make money, because it's not telling you the whole story. And so people buy these programs and then they think, gosh, what's wrong with me? Why can't I turn $20, $50, $100 a day into $400,000 like Frank Kern can? And there are so many reasons why. it makes me angry because I have seen people who've fallen for these kinds of things, not just from Frank Kern, from lots of other people. And they're like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get the traction that they're getting? And the reasons are so many. But I really want you to understand that when you are talking to strangers, you have to put in a lot more time and money. So don't fall for it. Don't fall for it for yourself. And please resist using these kind of tactics on your own audience, because what happens is after a while, people just know that you're blowing smoke, right? They're like, don't believe it. There's clearly something that I'm not being told, because no matter how hard I implement these practices, it's not working. I've seen businesses come and go because people make these big, grandiose promises and then nothing ever pans out for their audience. And the audience starts catching on. And the last thing you want for your own business is word getting around that you're teaching or selling something that A, you don't personally do, and B, doesn't work because your business and your reputation can't really survive and thrive if you have a reputation for selling the moon and delivering, a pebble. Like, it just doesn't work. And, you also need to be careful who you learn from and be careful who you take advice from. If they haven't done it themselves lately, their old school tactics probably aren't going to work any longer. I mean, I think back to the kinds of ads. I think the first time I started running Facebook ads was 2013. It might have been 2012. But I think about the tactics that I used even like 2015, 2016, and what worked then versus what works now is night and day different. And so you just need to be really careful about who you take your advice from. And, so we talked about this business as usual ads like the one from Frank Kern, but what other reputational risks are out there for people who either aren't as familiar or don't know what they're doing with Facebook ads? And how do you do Facebook ads correctly right now? Well, first of all, as I said, I think toxic positivity right now is just really disconnected from reality for a lot of people. I believe that you need to have compassion and empathy for your audience right now. We don't know what everybody's going through. We don't know the stresses. We don't know, health challenges, family challenges. Like, we just don't know what's going on. So if you're running the same old ads that you would have run 6 or 12 months ago, you're likely doing it wrong. I can't say with 100% certainty that you are, but it's really worth going back and taking a look at it with fresh eyes so that you don't look like you're completely disconnected from what's going on for people. Forget blustery ads that are based on that toxic positivity or not wanting to address the coronavirus and recession elephant in the room. Those ads really come off as out of touch and they turn people off, sometimes for good. Like, if they feel like, hey, this person has no idea or they're just blowing smoke, they're just not going to trust you. And even when you do it right, when you do Facebook ads right, or, you get out there with a great marketing funnel or something like that, you really need to be aware of the political risks around you of running ads. In the month of July, for example, many businesses boycotted Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if you saw it, but Sleeping Giants, they had this huge thing where they were going after some of the biggest advertisers out there to get them to boycott Facebook and Instagram because of Facebook's refusal to address disinformation and just kind of allowing lots of crazy things on their platform. I know personally, I advise my clients not to run ads in July because of the reputational risks. And, for many of them, we're evaluating the political climate month by month. And sometimes we're saying, yeah, it might make sense to jump back into this. And sometimes we're saying, nope, not yet. This is not the time and place for this offer. And that means I'm putting my clients and their reputational risk ahead of doing the work I love and getting paid for doing the work I love, because it is that important to the long-term health of their business. I need to be unselfish enough to think about the long-term implications to their business, because if we run ads now, but we ruin their reputation, a year from now, they might not be in business. And look, today I called out Frank Kern's ad, but I'm sure that you're probably seeing ads from other online marketers with, pushing things like Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, maybe Google ads, I don't know, and other platforms. And before you jump into any course, and not just for ads, but really for anything, I want you to evaluate 3 big things. Number 1, is this person teaching me really doing this work in their business? Or do they hire other experts like a ad agency and just teach a fluffy overview that's not really going to get me the results I want because they're not rolling up their sleeves and diving in? Number 2, does the current political environment put my company's reputation at risk if I advertise on this platform right now? And again, like in the month of July 2020, many advertisers were absolutely boycotting advertising, and the political ramifications and reputational risk was too big to jump on it. It just wasn't worth it. And number 3, is this really how I want to be spending my time? Listen, friend, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, I love them. They're great for many businesses, and they may be great for your business. But before you let somebody talk you into, learning anything new or commit to running ads for your business, I want you to really evaluate who you're learning from and how it's really going to work in your business. Your reputation is really all that you've got. Don't risk it because some big name spins a story about his secret to success without doing your homework and deciding, is this really worth it for me? All right, I'd love to hear from you. What type of reputation blunders have you seen other people make? What are you noticing right now that's turning you off to companies maybe advertising in a very kind of tone-deaf kind of way? I know recently I saw somebody do a launch and I wish I would have screen grabbed it, but I was so disgusted and turned off that I just ignored it. And then I was like, shoot, I should have grabbed that because I could have used it for my podcast. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you. Hit me up on social media or email me, Michelle@michellelevans.com. And as you were listening to this, did you think of someone who could use these insights about creating profit without worry in their business? If you can think of someone who could use this, would you please do both of us a big favor and share this episode with them? It's really easy to do from whatever podcasting app you're listening on, or simply share the URL for today's show, which is profitwithoutworry.com/episode-143, and your friend can listen right there. And listen, don't forget to go read the article, The Real Reason Proven Marketing Formulas Have Stopped Working. You can get that at today's show notes or profitwithoutworry.com/article so that you can see what it takes to create a movement with your marketing. All right, have an amazing week, and I'll see you back here next week. Same time, same place, on another great episode of Profit Without Worry. See you then.